You can do all the right things. You can wake up early. You can grind all day. You can journal, plan, pray, fast, and dream big. But if you keep the wrong people in your circle, you will stay stuck. This isn't a suggestion. It's a spiritual truth, a life principle, and a warning. Toxic people will destroy your growth faster than failure ever could. Let's get one thing clear. You were not created to shrink just so others can feel comfortable. You were not born to carry dead weight on your shoulders. And you were definitely not assigned this life to be held hostage by someone else's drama, jealousy, or fear. So, today's lesson. It's about recognizing, removing, and replacing the toxic relationships in your life. It's about protecting your future, guarding your peace, and standing in your purpose with clarity and courage. Let's go. First, let's define it. A toxic person is someone who consistently drains your energy, distorts your vision, or distracts you from your calling. They don't always show up with red flags and sirens. Sometimes they come as a friend, a family member, even a romantic partner. They smile in your face, but sow seeds of doubt when you're not looking. They minimize your progress, mock your discipline, or act indifferent to your vision. They want the version of you that stays small, that doesn't challenge them, that doesn't rise. And if you're not careful, you'll start mistaking dysfunction for loyalty. You'll start believing that you owe people access just because they've known you the longest. But hear me clearly. Longevity does not equal loyalty. Just because someone's been in your life for years does not mean they deserve front row access to your growth. Let's keep it real. Some of you are carrying spiritual dead weight. Here are the signs. You leave conversations feeling drained instead of empowered. You feel the need to downplay your success so others won't feel insecure. You're always the one giving, fixing, rescuing, and they give nothing back. They dismiss your spiritual journey or roll their eyes when you talk about purpose. You feel guilty for wanting to level up. They make your growth feel like betrayal. Listen, that's not love. That's manipulation wrapped in familiarity. Toxic people don't always scream. They guilt. They gaslight. They belittle. They smother. They pretend they're for you, but every time you try to rise, they hand you a reason to stay the same. Some of you are emotionally exhausted because you're nurturing relationships God already told you to release. Here's the truth. Every minute you delay cutting off the wrong people, you delay your purpose. There are places you cannot go until you make the separation. In Genesis, Abraham couldn't step into the fullness of his promise until he separated from Lot. Lot wasn't evil, but he wasn't aligned. He represented distraction, disorder, and disobedience. Some people aren't wicked. They're just wrong for your assignment. And every moment you allow their dysfunction in your space, it contaminates your clarity. You'll start second-guessing your goals. You'll start hesitating in your obedience. You'll start shrinking your vision just to keep the peace. But here's the danger. You cannot carry divine vision with compromised company. You were called to purpose. And purpose requires protection. Don't confuse isolation with sanctification. Sometimes, God removes people not to punish you, but to prepare you. There's a season of separation that comes before elevation. Joseph had to be separated from his brothers before he could rule in Egypt. David had to be separated from Saul before he could be crowned king. Jesus even separated from the crowd to pray in silence. If Jesus had boundaries, why don't you? You think you're being humble. But sometimes what you're calling humility is actually spiritual hesitation. And hesitation can cost you your harvest. It's time to stop babysitting toxic attachments. If any of this is hitting your heart, if you've been feeling tired, overwhelmed, emotionally drained, it might not be your habits. It might not be your schedule. It might not be your calling. It might be the people you've allowed in your space. So let's respond. Say it out loud. I'm not responsible for fixing people who are committed to staying broken. Say it again. I will protect my peace, guard my focus, and honor my calling. Drop this in the comments. I'm protecting my peace and releasing what's holding me back. And if this message is speaking to you right now, stop what you're doing. Like this video. Leave your comment. Subscribe if you're serious about growth. Let's get this message into the hands of people who need it. Because too many people are stuck, not because of failure, but because of who they're still holding on to. You're ready to move forward, but how do you actually do it? Let's break it down step by step. You can't change what you won't confront. Stop making excuses for people who repeatedly show you who they are. If you constantly feel drained, unsafe, or unseen, that's not normal. That's not healthy. And it's not love. Write this down. I deserve peace. I deserve growth. I deserve alignment. Boundaries are not walls, Beck. They are filters. They tell people, I'm still walking in love, but I won't allow disrespect, chaos, or sabotage. Boundaries sound like, I'm not available for that conversation anymore. I care about you, but I need space to grow. I won't be entertaining negativity moving forward. You don't need permission to protect your peace. Not every separation needs an announcement. Sometimes you can create distance quietly. But if the relationship is close, family, longtime friend, or someone you work with, it may require a conversation. Keep it simple. Don't accuse, don't blame. Speak from your truth. I've been working on myself, and I need space that supports where I'm going. You're not explaining, you're informing. When you start setting boundaries, toxic people will call you selfish, fake, arrogant, or even ungrateful. Let them. You're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're finally choosing growth over guilt. And let's be honest, if someone truly loves you, they will respect your healing. They won't shame it. Don't just say you're creating space, actually create it. Unfollow them on social media if needed. Limit your availability. Say no and mean it. They'll test you. That's okay. That's part of it. Growth comes with resistance. But you're not called to please. You're called to purpose. Cutting off toxic people is only half the process. You need community. Find people who celebrate your growth. Pray for your breakthrough. Speak life into your purpose. Hold you accountable to your value. Isolation is dangerous. Healing requires connection, the right connection. Join a group. Start new conversations. Pray for divine connections. And be the kind of person you want to attract. You don't need to hold grudges to walk away. Forgive them, not because they earned it, but because you don't need the weight. You're releasing them so you can rise. Bitterness anchors you to the pain. Forgiveness frees you to move forward. You're not walking away with hate in your heart. You're walking away with peace in your soul. This isn't just psychology. This is spiritual. Jesus himself said in Matthew 10:14, "If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, leave that home or town and shake the dust off your feet." There's a time to talk and a time to walk. Proverbs 13:20 says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Who you walk with will either sharpen your purpose or sabotage it. Your calling is holy. Your peace is sacred. Your environment matters." So when God tells you to let someone go, listen. Don't delay your destiny for the comfort of a familiar prison. Let's knock out some excuses real quick. But they're family. Yes, and toxic behavior is still toxic, even if it's coming from your cousin, your brother, or your parent. Setting boundaries doesn't mean cutting off all contact. It means protecting your peace without apology. But I've known them forever. History doesn't equal destiny. Just because you walked with them in the past doesn't mean they're assigned to your future. But I don't want to hurt their feelings. Newsflash: every time you allow their dysfunction to stay, you're hurting your own future. But I feel guilty. Guilt is not God. Conviction leads to growth. Guilt keeps you stuck. This is not about being mean. It's about being honest, healthy, and holy. You are responsible for protecting your soul, not carrying others who refuse to grow. Once you release someone, the healing doesn't happen overnight. You might feel lonely. That's okay. You might question your decision. That's normal. But trust this. Your soul knows when it's finally safe. Here's how you'll know you're healing. You stop replaying the argument. You stop trying to prove your worth. You start waking up with more energy. You begin to hear God's voice more clearly. You feel peace where there was once anxiety, the silence they left behind. That's not emptiness. That's space for God to move. Look, I know it's hard. I know cutting people off sounds cold. I know boundaries feel uncomfortable. But let me ask you this. Are you willing to stay stuck just to keep someone else from being uncomfortable? Because the longer you delay this, the more it costs you. Today is the day you draw the line in the sand. Today is the day you say, no more access to my peace. No more draining my energy. No more guilt for growing. No more shrinking just to keep others comfortable. You weren't called to carry the weight of others' dysfunction. You were called to be a light. And sometimes to stay lit You've got to walk away from what's dimming your fire. Drop this in the comments. I'm protecting my peace and releasing what's holding me back. Then, like, comment, and subscribe, because you're not done yet. This is day 11. You've got 354 more to go. And it only gets stronger from here. Let's go, let's grow.